Hello and welcome to a new video in our video series. The fifth video series essentially is the end of the chart of the custom report one that uses DML API and chart.js. We're now going to use rather we're going to use chart API. Which is another form of chart.js, but it's just the Moodle way doing it, and this will be custom report too, because this is all part of our journey, developer journey to become AI specialist in custom report learning data analytics. Now, arguably, Moodle provides for an easier way for us to produce a straightforward report, as it already integrates the chat.js in the Moodle core package. However, the purpose of this training series, where mastery of JavaScript is sought after, it is number one, better to first know what's happening under the bonnet with the abstraction involved with Moodle Chart API, and also two, for more complex reporting and charts. It will be easy to get stuck with bugs when there is no access to the chat.js. So what I'm saying here is, if you just get used to doing Moodle Chat API just with what is in this module alone and not what is the previous one, you would have difficulty manipulating your charts, because the Moodle doesn't give you enough tools or interface to deal with it. However, if you know the underlying chat.js, you can do so much, as I will demonstrate or mention as we go along in this tutorial. So this is the preferred and Moodle standard way to render charts within Moodle, as it ensures better integration of Moodle themes, accessibility features, and future compatibility. The only change is the display table function and the inclusion of use code in the require one section of the file. So at the top of this file, where you want to add, where you use require ones, use this particular one. We're going to do that now, which is just include this line like so. So you'll be at the bottom of all the required ones here. So let's go to our, so we got that one there, and is DML. So we copied index 2 from, we now call it index, instead of just writing over our previous code, we copy index and pasted it as index 2, a new file called index 2. Okay, so what we're going to do, okay, no, let's do that now. This is the actual index 2 already copied, don't say. So in DML reports, that's the DML report, we're going to delete this one. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to copy this and then paste it in here. So it is now that. Okay, so now all we're going to do is rename it to index 2. Okay, so that's one there, and then we do that. So now we can now back to where we were, so we can copy this and paste it here. So we got the use code there already. Okay, so we look like this, and that's what it looks like. So then in the function display table, which the whole of step 3, A and B, you will now have this code instead. Okay, so there's function table all the way to record. We need to copy that and place it. Let's go to function table. Let's remove that one. Function display table. what we're looking for. And this is function display table there, and we're going to copy all the way to record where it says here. So we're going to copy all of that, and we copied it already. We're going to paste it there, and we're going to do all of the function. Okay, so and then paste. Okay, so that did not give an error, so that's fine. And then create a table chart. So here again, we're going to do some copy. Okay. Okay, after placing the use call, which is this one here, let's get that back in there like so. Okay, so after pressing the use call in there, let's arrange that properly. Yeah, once you place that in there, then the DML. Remember, we actually using DML reporting. So let's open this up. Let's see clearly. So what we're using is DML reporting instead of DML. So let's cancel. Let's remove that one, and we're now actually what is index to choose DML. We're now changing everything from DML report to DML reporting. Yeah. So we got 5 of it, and we replaced all of them there. So that's fine. So we got that one. So let's go back here like so, and then the next step is we've already got that one. We've already got that one in there. Then in the function table, which is the whole of step 3, A and B, you will now have this code instead. So that means we're going to change the code step 3 to change from we're looking at the function table, right? Function display table. And this is the function display table here. So instead of what we got here, like so, we're going to have it to be like that, which is very similar actually. It's almost no different, but there is some subtle difference. So what we're going to do is copy this, and then we'll go through what we've actually copied. Okay, copy it, and in function display table, paste it in here. Okay, it's shorter to start with, so that's for sure. So in this modification, save it. So now we've got that one saved. And then it says in this modification, using Moodle CHART API, the function signature, records, title, and chart ID remain the same. Output is still declared global because you're using Moodle's rendering system. The H2 title and the HTML table rendering part are largely identical to your previous version, so we'll focus on the new chart part. Okay, so everything else looks very similar apart from where you start going to new chart. Moodle Chart API integration. This is the entirely new section that replaces the direct chart.js HTML JavaScript output. Okay, so new chart. So start from here. Really, that's where you start to see the changes. New chart from here. So let's go there. So it's got it here. It says chart, new core chart bar. This is the core of creating a bar chart using Moodle Chart API. Core chart bar is a class provided by Moodle's core component. It represents a bar chart type within Moodle's charting system. Moodle's Chart API supports various chart types. You would use core chart line for a line chart, core chart pie for a pie chart, etc. if you wanted a different visualization. By instantiating this class, you are telling Moodle that you want to create a bar chart object. Okay, so that much is clear. And number 2, chart set title. Now, that means you just really creating an instance of a chart with the title set to the title variable or title object. So what we're doing here is this line now. So we're saying chart property of this chart object is set title, and the set title is a variable declared. So there you go. Okay, so that much is also clear. So say chart setter. This method on the chart object is used to set the main title that will appear above the chart itself. Title, you are passing the title parameter, e.g. best scores, that was passed to the display table function directly to the chart's title. This ensures consistency between your table heading and your chart title. Okay. Number 3, chart set labels, array map function, record, return, record name, record, charts. So what it's saying here is, what is actually going through here is this one here. Now, if you can recall, this was similar to this, was in the previous video, using chart.js, but we just got a version that's compatible with Moodle. So chart set labels, array map function, record, return, record name, record. So chart set label, this method is used to define the labels of the chart category. For a bar chart, they are typically the labels that appear on the x-axis. That's the horizontal axis underneath each bar. Okay, so these are the ones that go that way. That's the x-axis, and they are usually the labels. So then the next one, just for sending labels. The next one, array map portion record, return record name, records. This is the same array map function you used before. It iterates through each record in the records array and extracts the name property, e.g. students' names. The resulting array of names, e.g. Alice, Bob, Charlie, is then set as the labels for the chart. So this is how we get the names. It goes through everything. It maps everything from the records, from these records, and returns the record name. This is and along the x-axis. So for the labels, okay. So chart series Creating a chart series. Series data array map function record return record score from the records array. So then again, this array map, this again uses array map to extract just the score property from each record in records. This array series data will contain the numerical values that the bars will represent. Series, so we're looking at here now, series data, okay, and it returns the score. So that's how we get the scores for the x-axis. Okay, series new core chart series scores series data class. A series represents a set of points to be plotted on the chart. A chart can have one or more series, e.g. if you were comparing scores versus participation on the same chart, you'd have two series. Scores. This is a label for the specific series. It will appear on the chart's legend. So another beautiful thing about Chart API versus chart.js is you have a series, and I'll show you in a bit. This is the series data. This is the actual array of actual numerical data points, the scores for the series. Now let me just quickly go here, so in case we missed it out, but this is actually one of the big difference. See, compared to chart.js, this is what the chart API looks like. So it looks slightly better, and you can see this is a series here, so everything looks a little bit more Moodle compatible with your theme. Okay, so adding the series to the chart. So here it is again, I just showed you. This method adds a series object which you just created containing the scores data to your chart object. Now the chart knows what data it needs to plot. So this is the series here. So everything is quite clear to Moodle what goes where. Okay. Output render chart. So we've gone through all of this now. Add the series. The next thing is to render the chart. And it does that here. Echo render chart. So this is the final and critical step. We are calling the render method on the global output object. You pass your fully configured chart object called chart bar instance to this method. Moodle's rendering system then takes this chart object, internally generates the necessary HTML, JavaScript, often using libraries like, take note, chart.js or d3.js, which Moodle bundles but abstracting you from direct interaction, and CSS to display the chart on display. So that's how this is all put together. And then when that is done, you now get this. You see, and this is the series data. This series I was telling about. So when you click on the series, it now shows you what data is plotted exactly. Now you did not have that in chart.js. You can have it. You can go deeper and actually make it produce it, which it doesn't do by default. Okay, so let's just do this quickly so we can see a little bit better. So you click on that again and it hides it for you. Okay, now to get word scores, you see that. So it now provides a word scores version for you, and the chart changes. You see, it's now this way instead of the other way because the values have changed. So click on that one too, and you see the word score series there. So depending on what you want, this is richer or easier, or for the layman it's just much better. It depends. Okay, so that's for that one. So the advantages of using Moodle Chat API. Abstraction. You don't need to write HTML canvas tags or inline JavaScript for chat.js anymore. Moodle handles that complexity for you. Consistency. Charts rendered via the API will automatically adopt the styling of the active Moodle theme and ensuring a consistent look and feel across your site. Maintenance. Moodle maintains the underlying JavaScript libraries. If Moodle updates to a newer version of chat.js or switches to a different chatting library, your code using the API will likely continue to work without changes as Moodle abstracts these details. Accessibility. Moodle aims to provide more accessible chatting solution out of the box. Simpler PHP. Your PHP code becomes much clearer, focused on what data to chat rather than how to draw it. So that's essentially the advantages of Moodle Chat API over Moodle Chat.js. But if you are a CTO, you need to have the broad knowledge. You need to interact directly as opposed to abstract interaction. Then you will need Chat.js. Okay, let's quickly round up on this one. So summary. We have in this training course integrated Moodle DML CHART API, including directly with chat.js, Page API, Access API, and String API to generate a report displaying best, worst, and average scores of users, presented in tables, visualized as charts, all organized into tabs. In the process, we have understood the syntax to make this happen using a demo problem and recommended solution. This included step-by-step using DML to extract data into tables, segment into tabs for their respective categories of tables and charts. We also compared and contrasted using Chart API versus Chart.js directly to their strengths and weaknesses. There are other ways of implementing these charts as well, or you may have more specific requirements. If you or one of your YouTube users or an ex-student of Debonair Training do not, if you are you are one of our YouTube users on the channel or an ex-student of Debonair Training, do not hesitate to comment below. Of course, do not hesitate to like and share for more tech participation. So thank you for taking this short video tutorial and taking this course. If you're a Debonair user, we look forward to seeing you in the next video in our ongoing series. In the meantime, like this video, share and comment in our section, or subscribe to our channel. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.